the research I've seen is that staying healthy is good. Not smoking is good, but being lonely is the worst thing. So being lonely is worse than smoking 15 cigarettes a day, for example.
Now, looking at the concept of the Jewish people, so what makes you guys different from every other, race or culture?
There's actually a good way of putting it. We're not actually that different. It's just that we're more the same. But I think the most important thing is that we have this saying that every Jew or Israelite is responsible for the welfare of the other. So that if one person stumbles, it's the responsibility of the community to pick them up.
Because in America, Nigerians are probably the high-end income community.
I remember reading this. I was really surprised. I learned that Nigerians in America per capita are actually the most successful minority.
Yeah.
This is how we have big families.
You got 5 kids.
Wow, I'm small.
I recently met this Jewish friend. The conversation was so great, we had to have it twice. My name is Durojaye, sweet Kunle. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we talked about building a community that works, using the Jewish concept. Continue to watch this video to learn more. Yeah, so you got into Bitcoin pretty early, because as you said the other day we met.
So I was telling your
Yeah.
better half, right? Other half, whatever you want to put it. So Bitcoin's like saving, and the crypto stuff is like experimenting. And have you heard of Uniswap by any chance?
Yeah, Uniswap. No.
So Uniswap is it's at the time was the biggest platform for you to swap between tokens on the Ethereum blockchain.
Okay. Yeah.
And the way it's done is, imagine a farmer has apples, but he wants to get orange. Well, let's do it the other way around. He has apples, but he wants to get oranges. And he wants to swap between the apples and the oranges.
Yeah.
So you need a marketplace to be able to swap the two. And what Uniswap facilitated was for people to be market makers, as in they'd bring both apples and oranges. And whenever a swap was done, they'll take a small cut.
Oh.
Right? So people who took a chance on being liquidity providers in that they would be the market makers and provide apples and oranges, or people who had swapped. All those people who experimented on Uniswap at the time got what's called an airdrop.
Okay.
So they got Uniswap tokens. And as early on, I had a bunch of wallets which had interacted with Uniswap, and I got airdrops in all of them. And yeah, that was how I got the deposit for the car. And then the rest I did, it was in the middle of COVID, and nothing was going on. So in terms of financing things, so I was able to get an equipment finance loan for 3%.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it was really good. And I figured, you know what, to get the credit rating, like what do you call it, to build a credit score? Because I'd never taken a loan before in my life. Okay. I figured I might as well use it for my business, and that's what I did. I took a loan for the car and used the initial, also about say a third of the Uniswap airdrop as the initial deposit for the car, just to show that I've got some money behind me. So yeah, that's how I got it. And it was best thing ever. Like the car I have now, it's a poor man's Ferrari, because it'll do 0 to 104 seconds flat. Like very few cars out there will do that for that price point. When I was a teenager in Australia, WRX, the Subaru WRX was also considered the poor man's Ferrari. This is now the updated poor man's Ferrari for the 21st century, right? Because it's electric and environmentally friendly. So all those things, it's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, from our conversation the first time we met, that was like, it was so beautiful that I felt like, we need to have a conversation again.
Yeah, sure.
So like going into the Jewish space, I've been reading this book, The Jewish Phenomenon. Yeah, beautiful book. It talks a lot about the Jewish people.
Yeah.
And
7 keys.
Yeah, 7 keys to enduring the wealth of a nation, of people, or something like that. So now looking at the concept of the Jewish people, so what makes you guys different from every other, race or culture?
There's actually a good way of putting it. We're not actually that different. It's just that we're more the same. So if you take like any group of people, Jews are just even more similar to them than they realize. So all the differences are extra accentuated. But I think the most important thing is that we have this saying that every Jew or Israelite is responsible for the welfare of the other. So that if one person stumbles, it's the responsibility of the community to pick them up. So that's why we have, over centuries, developed all these what are called gemach, which is gemilut chasadim, which means like offering acts of loving kindness to help out. And so you'd have, gemachs would be for, say, a woman or a young man who are not particularly wealthy to get married.
Yeah.
Then it expands to a million other things, like the supplies for a party.
Yeah.
Say you need a wheelchair, you just come out of hospital, so you have a gemach for that. And people donate and they upkeep, and every person has like a gemach for something for the community. They store a few of these, walking sticks, whatever you need, medical or like everything around the life cycle. So you have that. So instead of having to buy over and over, each person buying their own thing, people share that way. I think one of the things I told you about was there are a lot of established communities in Australia, like ethnic communities, but the Jewish one, as far as I know, is the only one for their own private ambulance service, or quick response service. And you have non-Jewish people in the area, call them up. But when you have ambulance delays, when you have someone come to you quicker,
which happens a lot.
Yeah, and you have someone can come to you quicker, that can really change things. When someone's got a stroke or a heart attack or whatever, things which are really life-changing. So things like that. So it's always taking care of, or trying to take care of the weakest person, weakest link.
I think it's more like how you get us. So I mean, just like you said, probably the same, but it's just probably the organization. Like you get us organized when it comes to getting things done, putting things in place. So like you said, the Sabbat, is this Sabbat? The one where you, from Friday evening...
Oh, Sabbath, yeah.
Sabbath,
Yeah, Shabbat.
Shabbat, yeah, you said Shabbat.
Sabbath, yeah.
Yeah, so where you you don't do anything, you don't go to work.
Well, right? Yeah. You don't work, correct.
Yeah, so which is a moment for you to probably mingle with family members around you.
Yeah.
So what's really the purpose of that? So it's biblical.
Yeah, sure. It's like we say the 6 days of creation, on the seventh day God rested, and we try following God's ways. And what it does in the community, we have, how can I put it? The community, it's an occasion once a week for everyone to really get together. Other than that, the men, they're obligated to pray 3 times a day. Yeah. Sure, not everyone can make it to the synagogue 3 times a day, but the point is, if you can make it in the evening or in the morning, it's always an occasion for someone to come and say, how you going? If you look a bit unhappy or whatever, people come and ask, how are you? All right, so just that constant contact. But the Sabbath is one full day dedicated just to relaxing. And there's a beautiful philosopher from the 20th century, I forgot his name, but he said, more than the Jews observed the Sabbath or kept the Sabbath kept the Jews.
Yeah.
They kept them together.
Yeah, true.
Right? So,
true.
Yeah, that's sort of, it's just a day to hang out with family. The reason we don't use cars or whatever in a roundabout way is it gives an opportunity for the dad to talk to his son and daughter when they're walking to the synagogue or just go for a walk. So instead of just driving, which is, when you drive, you don't have the full concentration, but when you walk and talk, things can come out.
So every Jewish community, the synagogue is always close by.
In the religious community, people who are fully observant, and of course, not everyone is as observant, but nonetheless, the principles apply outwards, even to people who are more secularized. So, So
I mean, it's a beautiful thing to hear, especially with the ambulance thing. Because when you talk about the ambulance, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You guys are, so
it's not a literal ambulance. People just have beepers.
First response.
They have beepers, and the message goes out. And people who are in a health space already, like doctors, paramedics, whatever, they volunteer, they get the training, and they just jump in the car quickly. Yeah. Because it's life.
I think it's Hitzel, something like that.
Hatzala, which means Latin means to save.
To save. So it's just basically a professional who could help at that moment. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So how do they come in? Do they come with their cars or?
Yeah. So the point is this. So you've probably heard the idea that a life is like the world. Like a single life is like when you save the life, it's like you save the world, because you don't know what that person might do after that. They might go on and do something amazing to save other people's lives and whatever. So that's why you, so to say, desecrate the Sabbath at that point, as in you break the laws in order to save a life, because that's more important. So so you put the you just make an exception.
And when it comes to like charity, philanthropical activities, you guys next level. You're talking about the blood thing you do every 2 weeks.
Right. So
that's crazy.
So okay, so there's this, like, you'll have, so in terms of philanthropy, Jews, it's very, very important to always help people out. We have this idea of tithing, where 1/10 of your salary should go to charitable causes.
So does it go to the synagogue or the charitable causes?
So,
or it depends.
Christians do this also.
We do.
And there's I remember coming across this great research from about, 10, 15 years ago, whatever, where they found religious people in general, over and above tithing for their religious institution, they actually donate more just to secular causes. So, the being religious sort of just, it prompts people to just do nice things for others.
Other people,
So, as a generality, this is what the research showed, that people, like Christians who went to church, they'd give to the church, but also they'd give equally or more to, say, the hospital or whatever, the local hospital, or whatever other amazing cause that helps people out, more so than, say, an atheist would.
So even like the ones who are not religious, like the non-religious Jews, they're still very heavily involved in philanthropy and so forth. I think I mentioned to you that we have, for example, like a society which, like, the highest form of charity is trying to get someone off, like, on their feet. So there are business loans which are given out where they're interest free, as long as you got your guarantors who will step in. But I don't know many other societies where people giving out interest free loans. Which
is really a help for someone just trying to start out.
True. Because then again, you look at, I don't think that's happening anywhere. Because I was watching one guy on YouTube, and I think he read this book, and then he said when he saw the part where they were giving interest out without loans out without interest, it was like, we need to adopt it in our ecosystem. So it's more like they were saying, all right, this community, this group of people who, I think it was like music producers and stuff like that. Anyone who's trying to get into music space, we give you a loan, interest free. And then the concept was from, the Jewish concept, which was, you need to get up on your feet, you need to start working, you need to start getting things done, you probably need to get your family together, get this money. But I don't know the payment plan, it's just like a payment plan.
You just repay as you go along. Like, obviously there's things which are put in there to protect the people, whatever, but
collateral or stuff like that.
But the point is, it's
interest free.
There. It's interest free, and it doesn't choke a person at the beginning when they're, like, if you don't have much of a track record, then it's very like a credit history, like credit score. It's harder to get a loan from the bank. And that's because they don't know you. And they don't want to take a risk on you. So whatever, but they're not really taking a risk. That's a whole other rabbit hole to go down of how banks make their money off loans.
That's a different ball game, exactly.
But that little rabbit hole will send most people, once they really start investigating how banks make their money, they'll look into Bitcoin and things like that. True.
True. And then you were talking about two types of giving, the one where you don't know who's getting it.
So there's all these levels of giving. So it's, for example, one level is the person, but a higher level is you don't know the person, right? And then the next level is you don't know the person, and the person doesn't know who's given to them. And then after, and of course at the very top is getting a person to stand on their own 2 feet, being able to manage their own life.
So that's the highest level of giving.
It's considered the highest level of giving because the person is no longer dependent on anyone. They now can actually contribute back and do their own thing. They can start their own family, whatever it is. So
the concept of the reward is from God,
What do you mean?
So like the whole concept of giving, and so you guys believe that, which I also believe in anyway, that you give and then this God who rewards you.
Yeah.
Or is there any?
Well,
Are you looking to God for that? Or?
oh yeah. So so we have this idea of we have giving for its own sake, but before that, like with little kids, they want, like, you need to incentivize kids to do the right thing. So with them, we have the saying, which is "Ma shelo lishma, ba lishma." So "Ma shelo lishma" means what's initially done not for its own sake eventually becomes for its own sake, because eventually the kid matures into a young adult, and they understand that giving only to be getting something in return, it doesn't feel that great. But you want the kid to go through that process. So, like I was telling you, like you're telling me you're a choir master.
Yeah.
Right. When I was a little kid, I went to the choir in the synagogue, and they gave me a little tiny stipend. It was like $2 a week to come to practice, and then $2 to appear. Right. But after that, when I was an adult, and I volunteered to be basically the equivalent of a sexton in the church, right? From time to time, I'd lead the service, right? And people liked, I had that sort of semi-formal training for a few years as a kid, and it translated to me when I was an adult. I was able to lead as a volunteer, lead prayer service and sing nice songs and whatever. So, as an adult, you get just the satisfaction of being able to lead the service.
True. Yeah. So do you how do you become a rabbi? Is there like a hope? Are you looking into becoming a rabbi at some point?
Me? Nah. Okay, so
that'll probably make you start working.
To be a rabbi, a good rabbi, it's actually really hard. You have to understand the human psyche, what motivates people, but you also have to have intellectual rigor, and maybe eventually, but not for me, basically. I had my time as what you call a gabbai, which it rhymes with a rabbi, right? But gabbai is completely volunteer role.
Okay. Yeah, the one with the event things.
Yeah. Look, in the past, rabbis weren't paid either. They were just considered the most, like the foremost scholar of the community. And what was done to sort of advantage them so that they wouldn't have to work too hard and could focus on like community needs and studying, like the Jewish law. A good example is Maimonides, who's a well-known Jewish rabbi. Yeah. He's very well respected. Like he's quoted by Thomas Aquinas, who's a well-known Christian philosopher. So I remember reading, he said that for the Jewish scholar, for example, if he's in the market, give him the first stall, so that when people come, they'll buy off him first, and he can pack up earlier in the day and then go back home to continue studying. So that he's got his own occupation. Yep. And having his own occupation, he's able to relate better to the people he's serving, right? So that's the ideal. The ideal is a rabbi has a job in the real world, and then he also ministers to his congregation. So that was always the case in the past, but then some exceptions were made. But like a good example of this is the chief rabbi of Rome, Riccardo di Segni. He is a surgeon, like a really very like a high up medical professional, right? And then sometimes he won't come on the Sabbath, he won't appear because he's doing a really important surgery, right? But the rest of the time he's like the chief rabbi of Rome. Yeah,
because I mean, from what I read there, the book talked about Jewish people are so focused on education, professionalism, and then entrepreneurship. Yeah. So I mean, I would say the African community is almost like that too, because in America, Nigerians are probably the high-end income community.
I remember reading this. I was really surprised. I learned that Nigerians in America, per capita, are actually the most successful minority. Yeah. Now, I don't know if that's like some sort of bias because the most educated have arrived in America. But yeah, it's really amazing. Yeah, it shows there's a real appreciation of education and entrepreneurship.
Because the thing is that, I mean, our parents are big on it because maybe they've always, I mean, back in the days, it was like the trendy thing, like the child must be educated. So they made sure everyone went to school. And, if you're not doing well in school, they'll tell you, oh, look at your neighbor's son. You're from
the jealousy thing. Nice.
Like,
I like it.
He's doing so well. And and, even while I was growing up, I was a bit wayward at some point where I wasn't really going to school and all that. And I had to take my education seriously because my dad really you need to make sure you go to school. And, after that, I mean, education became like something I really got interested into. Like now I did my master's in Tikkun, studied Masters of Commerce. And Yeah, no, I'm just reading books, and because education is part of like life is basically education. You know, you just keep reading and reading and reading. So like, and why I'm so interested in the Jewish concept is that, you know, how can we adopt some of the things that you guys do into our community as a now in the Australian community? Because you were talking about.
Well, I'll tell you one of the most beautiful things kids do.
Yeah.
It's a custom that started, I don't know how long ago, but when kids learn the alphabet for the first time, what they'll do is, as in the Hebrew alphabet, they'll get the Hebrew letters, and they'll put honey, draw the shapes in honey, and they'll learn the letters by licking each letter when they're very young.
Okay.
Right, so they lick the letters, and that's how they learn, you know, the alphabet, as we call it.
Yeah.
On the side, I don't remember when I found this out, but because you're Yoruba, I learned that someone invented quite recently a separate alphabet for the language, the Yoruba language. Yeah. So you could do that, you know.
Yeah, learn.
Get the little Yoruba kids to you paint the letters in honey.
Learn the language. Because you guys are big on history. You talked about you being able to trace your history back to 1,000
so
generations.
So, okay. Not all Jews. Yeah. But the ones who are interested, they'll do family trees, and if you know your your family name, it always has a background to it. So in Central Europe, for example, you had a bunch of people who created, they're called acronym surnames. Okay. So Katz, for example, is a common Jewish name, which means Kohen Tzedek, righteous priest, right? I don't know when that started, but Katz. My one, Segal is Sagan Levaya. Now, Sagan Levaya means vice Levite. Yeah. So anyone who's of the Levite tribe, you straight away know, okay, who are the Levites? They include, Levi, who was the son of Jacob. Yeah. Right? So if you want to take everything very literally in the Bible, you go, okay, so then they got to Egypt, and Moses was a Levite. His brother, Aaron, was a Levite. From Aaron, you had the four families who became the priesthood. So that's where you get all the names like Katz I was telling you about. Yeah. But what they found, for example, when they've done blood profiling on different people from those four families, the Kohanim, who descend from Aaron, whether the Kohen was from, say, Yemen or from Morocco or from Poland or Spain or whatever, there were similarities. Even though they're being separated for centuries, they all seem to stem from the one guy. The
bloodline is still there.
The one guy, Aaron, right? Yeah, so there's that. And Siegel started in this town called Worms near Frankfurt. This man, he started the town. His son or grandson gave himself that name. Yeah. And basically everyone who's got that name descends from this one guy. So that name is about 1,000 years old.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and what's interesting is you had a bunch of outposts in Germany where the Jews were there before the Germanic tribes even settled. So they were more indigenous, so to say, in that little part of Germany than the Germans were. And they were sent there because the Romans said, you guys are good at commerce, we'll send you there to set up trade outposts. So yeah, that's how they got. Directly, I can trace about 7 to 12 generations just in Israel. And then like I told you, I've got someone who's quite distantly related to me who has done like a family tree for 1,200 years. So yeah.
So you can just say, okay, this is my lineage.
Yeah. It's not my specific lineage, but this fourth cousin has done. I'm going to call him fourth or fifth cousin, whatever it is. Yeah. He's like I said, done 1,200 years of being in between Hebron and Jerusalem, which are both like considered important towns in Jewish history.
It's very amazing, man. I wish I could trace that. I was telling you that I probably still have my granddad.
It's unfortunate, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, because it's not like we're not big on history. Like I said, you know, when Christianity came in, I feel like a lot of the guys who were probably traditionalists, you know, changed into Christianity, and they probably just let go of, you know, that.
It created some sort of break.
Exactly. That's why till today some people still fight about, you know, the Western people bringing Christianity to us and da. But I mean, what we believe in is what we believe in. We believe in God, and which is, you know, the most important. And then you were talking about what you guys do, because you guys live in like suburbs together. So the Jews will live in like a suburb.
So
I think that's going to be very hard for, especially for we guys, to all say, let's go stay here.
Yeah, so this is where religious Jews really excel in building community. We say that we can't walk, like we have to create a perimeter, like a Sabbath perimeter. So traditionally that was like the city wall.
Yeah.
It was a physical wall over a certain height, and then you'd just be enclosed within it, and you wouldn't travel more than a certain distance beyond the wall, right? Nowadays we don't really have city walls, so this sort of roundabout way they set up an artificial wall by using like wires, and that sort of demarcates the area. So the Jews try to live in that area because then it means that it's a shorter walk to the synagogue.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
so basically, I mean, I don't know how it works, but let's say, for example, you want to buy a land. So they go and say, okay, we'll buy this land, and the ideology is that there's going to be a synagogue, and then there's going to be, residential homes.
Yeah, but
that's the concept.
What's interesting, most people don't realize this, more important than a synagogue is the ritual bath. Like you'd call it baptism.
Okay.
So one of the things that really keeps Jewish families is the woman, when she has, this is how we have big families.
You've got 5 kids.
Wow, I'm small. So when a woman has her period, so basically the husband doesn't touch her. They just like relate to each other as like really good friends, but not physical.
Intimate,
Right? So there's it's about 4 or 5 days where the woman has her period, so man doesn't touch it, but on top of that, there's another 7 days of purification. And at the end of that period, the woman will go and do like a baptism, so that happens once a month. Now, what that happens to coincide with is usually ovulation. Right?
Yeah.
So that's why it works out really well. So so she's more fertile.
In that period. Yeah.
So that tends to, and also creates like a break where like some couples happens quite often. They have like their honeymoon period where they're like into each other crazily, and then things just wear off. Whereas this creates that break, so that out of say 30 days, 12 days off, 18 days on. So almost half is you don't actually relate to each other as like a romantic couple, but just as like really good friends trying to raise your kids together. So
So every month they get baptized.
So wow. So to say, it's not like is
it mandatory?
Well, the religious women do it. But what's interesting, even a lot of the secular women, a significant number also go do it. They maintain that tradition.
So even if you're not religious, they're still allowed to come into the synagogue?
Yeah, of course. No, there's, it's very inclusive. Like communities want people to come and participate. So in the very ultra-Orthodox, which you see in films where they wear the black hats, they're a bit, I guess, how can I put it? They're a bit more closed. And that's because they're trying to sort of maintain their traditions. But most synagogues are not like that. And they have like a spectrum of people on different levels of like observance of the Jewish law.
Okay.
So you'll get all sorts.
That's interesting. You also talked about the, I think you said celebrated New Year or something like that.
Yeah, that was recently.
Yeah, 5,000.
5786. We've got a bit of history. I mean, look, that starts the count for us after the first week of creation. But like we received the law as like a national, for us as like our story is that we received the law on Mount Sinai, and that happened about 3,300 years ago. So even if you to start the calendar,
is that one from Moses?
Yeah. So Moses brought down the tablets and whatever. So even if you had to start there, it's still a very old calendar, like 3,300 whatever, right? But the actual year is 5786 now for us.
So the Levi guy, because I was reading in the book, was talking about the Levi genes and how when they started the factory back in America, every employee was a Jew.
Levi James. Well, so he's a Levite. Right? So I'd be.
Is that his real name or?
But every person who's from the Levi tribe would be related to each other distantly, but nonetheless would be related to each other. Yeah.
So, I mean, just like you said, the whole concept of helping people to get their feet, be on their feet and then stand and start your own thing. I guess that's where his own concept. It came from like, I don't have a choice. I need to help my brothers, my family, to get started. Which is a beautiful thing to see, like, because I love it. I really love the idea. And I was telling about like how I'm more focused on the mindset and wealth strategy. So, because I realized that wealth is basically first from your knowledge, which is how much you know. And then from what you know, you can put into something materialistic.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Yeah. Like we have this tractate of we call it Ethics of the Fathers, and we say that knowledge is important, but the most important thing is fear of the Lord, right? So, and what's sort of said it that if you put the fear of the Lord first, as in the practice, your knowledge will exist, because what are you doing? You're putting it into practice. So if you learn in order to do, that knowledge will stick more than if you just learn as a theoretical thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's basically knowledge being put into use.
Yeah. That's the key thing.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing wrong with learning for the sake of learning, and it's seen as a good thing in itself. Yeah. But the best way of learning is learning in order to do.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. I agree.
Yeah. So that's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking about Solomon, looking at how he built the temple, and telling me how it was a symbol of peace or something.
Yeah. So weren't allowed to use like things which were perceived as weapons. So you had these little, like, I guess, worms, which dug into and cut the stone. Yeah. So
like worms, like animals.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it doesn't make much sense, but yeah, basically the blocks were just cut that way. Yeah.
Wow. And they just
it could be metaphorical.
Yeah. But I don't doubt it.
Yeah. But the point is that that's how the first temple was built. But yeah, like again, going on education, one of the things that Solomon said was "Hanoch na'al pi darko," meaning teach a youth according to their way. So each person has, some kids are happy to read, some kids want to listen, some kids want to jump around and whatever, they can't sit down, ants in their pants. So Hanoch na'al pi darko, like teach each youth according to their way. So that's another, like, if King Solomon said it. King Solomon said it. Then,
that's a good concept.
Yeah. So some kids just want to listen. Like, they want to hear and talk and whatever. Some kids are happy just to read. So
teach every kid according to their way.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So
you didn't say that in the Bible. Okay, I mean that's definitely in your Bible.
No, Proverbs. You'll find it. Yeah. It will be. As far as I know, Christians call it the Old Testament. It'll be there. Proverbs.
Yeah,
you'll find it.
There's so many words of wisdom in there. Because I mean, like I said, I kind of like got really interested in Solomon's wealth. I knew that God gave him, but at the same time, he was a very wise man.
Yep. He also liked Africans. He had an African wife.
This one from Ethiopia.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I mean,
he said black is beautiful.
Even though he still had other ones.
Yeah. Well, he had like 1,000, whatever. He had 700 wives, 300 concubines, whatever. But yeah, in Yemen, it's very interesting. So, Bathsheba is what she's called in the Bible. Yeah. But in Yemen, they call her Bilqis. Yeah. Interesting sort of, but anyway, that was his wife. She was from there. Also Moses, his wife, Tzipporah, she was also called a Cushite, which means black. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Moses had 2 sons, and they would have been half black.
Yeah. True. But I mean, funny enough, how with all the concubines and all that, this guy still just...
Well, back then it was like just a way of like making peace. So, like if a king and a king would say, oh, I'll give you X amount of like logs to build your temple. Yeah. And
like the whole with Solomon and Aram, King Aram, when he was building the temple.
Yeah, exactly. The cedars of Lebanon. So it's just like a way of like exchanging things to make peace. So I think that's how it came about.
So I'll give you this and this, and I'll give you like 50 women.
Yeah, it's a different world. Very different. But I mean, different world. To be a hippie, make love, not war. It's better that way, right? It is better that way, I guess. Yeah, I mean, look, I wouldn't want to be one of those wives, Oh, it's my turn in 300 days to be with the king, like.
I know, right?
Like whatever, but like it's a different world.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, like. True. Nonetheless, better to make love than war. So that's what King Solomon was known for, being the king of peace. So.
King of peace, yeah. Because I mean, even his letter to Ariel was like, God has given me peace on all sides. So it's time for me to build a temple, and I want to go into business with you. And you just give me a set of trees to build a temple, and then I'll pay you every year in installment.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so because I did an episode where I talked about Solomon and how he used storytelling to sell an idea to a person, to probably counsel people and all that. So it was just storytelling between him and Ariel. It was so beautiful to read. Just how he went from the troubles his dad had, David, where there was war on every side, and then God giving him peace, and then now he's ready to build a temple, and then we're gonna do business for the rest of the years, and it was just nice to read.
Well, that's also, I think that's what, I guess, this is where Jews and also Chinese are very good at this. When they go into business, they say, we're not just doing like a one-off. It's like, we want to build a relationship so we can work for
long term.
Yeah, so that's,
Because, I mean, funny enough, while I was on the phone with someone who was trying to close a deal together, I was just saying that. I was just saying, this is a long-term partnership. So don't expect any quick returns now. It's going to take a while. Because over time, I think what really happens when you build a long-term relationship is that you build trust. And then you build patterns of how you want to do business. So it just becomes really effortless to do business with someone who you've done business with for a long time. So, and I really do like that, because I think reading this book and then reading about Solomon has really made me wiser in my decision making and things I want to do. And I realized that everything Solomon did was really focused on the people. And God is the God of the people.
While he's serving the people.
Yeah, serving the people, exactly. So, because one of the things he asked God for was that give me the wisdom to be able to judge my people. So that was people focused. So I realized that when you do anything that's people focused, there's a high chance you move faster, and then you do really well, because your focus is not on yourself, it's on the people. And because God is the God of the people, he's always quick to answer that kind of prayer. You get what I mean? And that's like my own view of doing things in a way where it's no more just selfish. So now I'm putting myself under pressure to know more so I can teach other people. And then God just gives you a different kind of grace. And I think that's where Solomon really got his wisdom from. Because God knew that, okay, whatever I give to this guy is going to be focused on the people which I've created anyway. So let me give him a lot. And then God did, and anyone can adopt that strategy and it's going to work.
It's funny you say it's like we have amongst certain groups of Jews, like they say that one of the biggest challenges that God can give a person is money. Because so you're like considered on a higher level in some respects if you're given a lot of money, because then God's really watching what you're doing with it.
True.
So it's more of a challenge to be wealthy than like average or more impoverished in some respects.
And that's probably why God said, it's probably going to be harder for, Jesus said it, that it's going to be harder for a rich man to go through.
Pass through Ivan. So, I know that, what is it? I think the Ivan needle was like literally a needle or something like that. I don't remember. There's actually a historical explanation of that.
Okay,
My father-in-law told me about it, but I can't impart it to you right now. I don't remember exactly the thing, but yeah, it had to do with certain gates and whatever, and camels would find it very difficult to pass through a gate, and the gate was called the needle, I think.
That might be a better explanation.
Look it up. That's what I'm going to say.
That might be a better explanation.
Research. Yeah.
This might be a better explanation.
Jewish philanthropists are very, very quick to try find something worthy to donate to. So you'll see, for example, for example, you'll see in hospitals in the city, all the public ones, not the Jewish hospital. There's no real Jewish hospital anyway in Melbourne. But if you go to, like, for example, when my wife gave birth, in the women's hospital in the city, or just north of in Parkville, like you see the names of like donors and a whole bunch of Jewish names. Like disproportionate to the number of Jews there are in Australia.
So like I think like a wing.
Yeah, it'd be a wing named after. Yeah. So on the one hand, it's like, oh, you're such a show off, why do you put your name there? But on the one hand, they say that you do that because you want other people to go, oh, maybe I can do that too. Maybe I'll make it one day and I'll get to put my name up there. So
it's an inspiration.
Yeah. So So it really depends on the person. Like if someone's like all ego driven, then I've got my name on the wall. But people are not so ego driven. They just say, I want my name to be recognized in order to inspire
people.
Yeah. And that's like in terms of giving, we have like another thing which is we have like 4 types of people
Yeah.
in terms of giving, and the best person is one who demonstrates the giving and wants other people to give. Right, that's the ideal person. One person gives but doesn't like it when other people give, because it's like,
Yeah.
Another person is, other people should give, but not me. And the worst person is, I don't give and no one gives. Everyone's equally miserable. Right? So that's the worst person.
That's probably the guy with the one talent and then didn't get to use it. I don't know if you
Whatever
know
it is, but yeah. So we have like these 4 types of
Yeah.
people who give, but like in a way, you look at how miserable the person is. I don't give, and no one should give.
Yeah.
The world's a mean place. You see him by being a miserable, mean person. You go, that's how he's given, because you see how he's leading his life, not being like particularly happy.
Yeah.
And that's how he's given. In a way.
That's what he gets in return.
Well, he's given
That energy. That's the energy.
He's given, but,
exactly.
but in him being mean, he's given the inspiration to other people not to be like him. So that's his giving.
Yeah, I get it now.
Right.
Yeah, I get it.
So, you see, he's a miserable, like whatever, like we call miser, like whatever, like.
Yeah. So everyone say, I don't want to be like this.
I don't want to be like this guy. And that's why he gives.
Oh man, that's a nice ideology, man.
This is from it's called The Ethics of the Fathers, which is like basically it was originally written as a 5 chapters. Then a 6th one was added as basically a form of reprimand or a way of teaching judges, the judges of Israel, to keep them like, there you go.
What are the fathers?
Like the elders, the people who are the leaders.
Oh, that's great. So I think the last one I would like to talk about is what's that celebration thing you guys do? Mishpah, is it?
We have lots of celebrations, lots of festivals.
No, the biggest one. Tisba, is it? No, it's not Tisba.
Tisha B'Av?
No,
that's not a celebration. That's like the
one
saddest day of the year.
The biggest one. Basmati, is it Basmati?
Basmati rice. I'm not sure.
Bas Mitzvah.
Okay, so that's not a festival.
Ah.
So we have, it's like I guess Christians have like confirmation.
Okay.
At a certain age. Yeah. So we say girls reach like early adulthood at 12.
Yeah.
And boys at 13, because boys just take longer to mature. Right?
Yeah.
So bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah. Bat mitzvah is for a girl, bar mitzvah is for a boy.
Oh.
And it's just a celebration of entering sort of getting your P plate basically, or your L's, so to say, if you're going to compare it to driving, right? Okay. So between 12 and 18 or 13 and 18, you're like training to be an adult. So that's so the boy will go up to, it's like the ark, they'll stand there and read this portion of the Torah, like the portion which is on the week they were born. It's like they get that portion. Okay. So they'll learn how to chant it, and we chant it. Another thing for learning, right? So that's what happens in Bar Mitzvah typically. The boy will learn their portion and they'll read it in public aloud. With a tune.
So like where like everyone's gathered in there.
Yeah, everyone's gathered, and when they finish their portion, there's a celebration. Usually depends on the synagogue. Some consider it not respectful, but some love to do this. They'll take lollies and throw it at the kid. And all the little kids will come and collect the lollies. And, things like that. Yeah.
So even like if you finish, like say for example, you finish uni, like you finish your bachelor's, is there like a celebration for that too?
No.
Or just depend on the family?
Look, obviously the family will say, well done.
Yeah.
But I mean, we don't have a
Jewish
celebration for that. Like the big events for Jews is birth.
Okay.
Nowadays, bar mitzvah, because it was not really a tradition until very recently.
Yeah.
Marriage, very important, and death, I guess, in terms of life events.
Yeah. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
They often say the rabbi's job is to hatch, match, dispatch.
What does that mean?
Hatch when the baby hatches. Match to get the baby to marry another baby, and dispatch is when the person's going to the next world.
True.
Yeah,
true.
That's
true.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Yeah, I think probably come to the end of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
We've dispatched this conversation for now. Sounds good.
Any other thing you want to say, like probably about a Jewish that people could adopt or something? Probably an ideology.
I don't know about ideology, but I really think I was working with someone who's Muslim background, like from Pakistan, and he told me, my group of people were actually originally from Afghanistan. They're from Afghanistan, and we call ourselves Bani Israel, as in we're children of Israel. We're like a lost tribe of the Israelites. So we have some Israelite-like customs. I said, so do you observe the Sabbath? He said, what's that? I said, well, it's a day where we don't use technology. We sort of just read books and hang out with family, go to synagogue.
So wait, you don't use technology?
Well, we don't like
phone.
Don't use the phone. Don't go to the computer. Yeah, don't deal with money. Nothing. Right? And he liked it so much that his wife, and their little baby, they just would every other Sabbath they'd just put their phones down, put it to airplane mode, and do like. Come on,
wow, I love that.
Yeah. So
I love that
because it gives you that that time to really reconnect and talk and sometimes argue, but it's good to argue.
True.
Yeah.
So it starts from what time? 7 p.m.
Well, no. Each week is different. Basically, it starts when the sun sets on Friday.
Oh yeah, okay.
So we've put a little buffer of about 18 minutes before. Some people do a bit more than that, 40 minutes, just depending. But most people do 18 minutes before the sun sets.
Yeah.
Like the women will light the candle.
Yeah.
If there's no one in the house, the man will just light for himself. And then until Saturday night when the stars come out. Wow. So it's about 25 hours, thereabouts.
So no phone, no technology.
Yeah, people just completely abstain.
With TV?
No TV, nothing. Wow. Yeah, people just abstain. They'll have family meal.
Yeah. Do you get people to come over?
People will get invited also, sure. Like other family, extended family, like grandparents, cousins, whatever. Quite often get invited. Basically, think of like a Christmas meal, not as big, but nearly every Sabbath. That's
almost every week.
Sorry?
That's almost every week.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's hard for some religious Jews to keep a diet because always having people over. But
it's an advantage to eat.
But look, I mean, the research I've seen is that staying healthy is good. Not smoking is good. But being lonely is
was the best.
Is the worst thing.
The worst thing?
Like being lonely in terms of longevity, as in quality of life and all that.
Yeah.
So being lonely is worse than smoking 15 cigarettes a day, for example. So, or drinking and being slightly overweight or whatever. Yeah. So being lonely is really the worst thing. So if you're invited every week to go hang out with family,
that's beautiful.
And if you go pray 3 times a day or at least once a day, like your local synagogue, then the chances are you're less likely to be lonely.
Yeah.
So,
True. All right, man. Nice chatting to you about this.
Yeah, sure.
Now we got it recorded.
First time I've ever done one of these.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, man.
No worries.
Really nice of you. Thoughtful of you.